A Smooth Brain Production presents
Tonkatsu Boys Super Time Show!
Just gotta sit my dump trunk down, you know?
You sit that McDumpy down, dude.
My McDumpy, huh? It's been, we missed a whole week, Jared. The Tonkatsu boys took a week off.
It happens. I mean, you take like weeks off between pods now. There's like no set schedule.
Well, in the defense of the great podcast, the greatest podcast of all time, the On the Level podcast, that is like a fluid, artistic podcast. You know, that's very you're capturing two artists in their prime. So you never know what's gonna happen. You never know when an episode's gonna drop. You know, we like to keep people on their toes.
It's like the Charlie David Kaufman of your time.
Oh man, don't tell Jordan that. He loves Charlie Kaufman.
Does he?
Oh yeah, we love the movie of Fly. Is it Fly Me to the Moon? Man from the Moon?
I think it's Man from the Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, we love that movie. And then the documentary about the making of that movie and the history of Charlie Kaufman is super interesting. So that would be a compliment. I don't know what to do with this strand of hair. It is so long and disgusting.
Just leave it. It's cute.
I can
adds
put it in my mouth if I wanted to.
Don't do that. Don't do that though.
I won't. But I will do that. You know what it does? It like it irritates my eye. And it makes it dry. But Jared, this is the #1 anime podcast on the internet. Also the most scripted podcast
the most
on the
scripted
internet.
podcast. Yeah, we love scripting all our episodes out beforehand, so we don't actually, say something that might embarrass us in front of our audience of 20 or so listeners, if that.
I'm not sure you got to put our listeners down.
I don't want to put our listeners down. I'm just saying they're part of a very niche, very exclusive group. They have access to content that is only available to them, Mm-hmm. So really, they are, privileged to be hearing this.
That is true. And Jared, you also do the streaming on the Twitch. I know you're on the path to affiliate. You're on the path to affiliate.
Yes, I'm almost there. I'm 10 followers away. Please check out my live streams.
Really? Only
check
10
out my
followers
live
away?
I'll Lightning Zero. Twitch.tv/Lightning023. Lightning with an E, I think. Lightning, like crest lightning. Lightning
Strips.
as in like light. Yeah, not whitening lightning. Yeah.
I'll see if I can get Little Beaver to get his friends to get some friends of his to follow you.
Thanks, appreciate it. I don't think I'll even be to affiliate, even if I do have 50, because I need a consistent 3 viewers per stream.
How many do you get now?
1.5.
It's better than 1.
It is better than 1. Yeah, but
you gotta figure out those Nico strats.
Just gotta I gotta get better templates and stuff.
That has nothing to do with Twitch views, do you think?
Dude, the big Twitch boys have the big templates. I gotta get one of them.
Yeah.
But enough
Twitch
about
seems just so
enough about me.
You know.
Let's talk about you.
Let's talk about anime. We've been watching.
Let's talk about anime.
People know this. At least I have. I've been watching a lot. I've been watching quite a bit. It's so bright. I guess that's where we can start this week, because I want to start with an anime that's very controversial, and I told you about it the other day. It's called Jobless Reincarnation.
Yeah,
that's the English version, and it's done by a studio called Eggbind. And I don't know. I believe so. Let me see. My anime list.
Why is it controversial, though?
I'll get to it in a minute. So let me me see. The studio is Studio Bind, but for some reason I think that was Egg. This is the only thing they've worked on.
Okay.
And the reason that it's controversial, it's an isekai. It's also a light novel that came out during the time of like when ReZero was first being published, and like all the other famous, and like I think the only isekai that was airing at the time, don't skewer me on this, but I believe it was like SAO was like the major isekai at the time, and this was like it was this Rising of a Shield Hero and ReZero, and they all started at the same time. This one is extremely popular. And the reason it's controversial is because the main character, before he goes into the different world, he is like the scum of the earth guy. Like he's a total hikikomori, like stays indoors. He was so bad that like the show kind of opens with like this, you see this fat obese guy like laying down watching porn, jerking off. And then it shows like a funeral of these two old people, and it turns out that he was jerking off to porn while his parents were being buried, and he like his extended family comes over and kicks the shit out of him and kicks him out while he was roaming the streets homeless like for like less than an hour. He sees these teenagers arguing in the middle of the it's like a median. They're in the median of a road, just arguing, and a truck's barreling towards them. He pushes them, saves them, and he dies. And he wakes up as a baby being born in this other world. And now this is where the controversy comes in, because during the whole show, his inner conscious, his like the voice inside his head that's narrating the whole show, is the voice of an older man.
Yeah.
And it begs the question, he is reincarnated. He comes in, he's a little baby, and the first thing he sees are these women, like the person who gave birth to him, his mother's huge tits. He's like, you better watch out or I'm gonna come and touch him. And his little baby hands are like this, and he's like squeezing, he's like, what? And then he's a baby. It's very sexual. It's very I would say on the R side of anime. Yeah. And there are scenes in this show, like it begs the question, is he wrong for wanting to have, like, he is a pervert, like he was a pervert in his previous life and he is a pervert now. And like one of the many famous scenes so far of the show is like he's a baby crawling around and he finds a pair of like the maid's underwear and he puts it over his head like a bandit mask and like just starts walking around. And then he looks straight at the maid and just does this weird smile. And then she's like, that kid's weird. And then his mom's like, no, he's just a baby. But it's like inside we hear this deep man. He's like, dude, I would totally F that maid if I could, because he's just a baby. But there's a scene, I would say there's two scenes, one of which is where he is like an older boy and he is about the girl is like 12, he's about 10. She's like, they're fooling around and he takes it too far. But and it's kind of a strange scene. It's very strange because, again, where do you fall in on this? He is a boy, but his conscience is that of a older man, but he is also living another life. He's going through the motions of living another life. It's weird, but the animation is awesome. I know this is only the beginning of the story. And where the last episode left off is like everything was a setup to this whole arc of the story. And I don't know, I feel like it's really divisive right now in the community. Like some people really fucking hate it, some people like it. Right now it has an 8 on my anime list, which is really high, but really controversial. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, I'll have to watch it for myself. It sounds strange.
It is strange. It is, I mean, extremely strange.
I think really I was like, oh, is he like the kid is or the man reborn into a kid's body wants to like do like pervy things to his reincarnated family. But then the 12-year-old thing
I wouldn't
is
say
kinda...
I wouldn't say it's like he is just like a pervert. It's just like he knows the terms like lolly and whatever and all that stuff. But
yeah,
I gotta say though, the animation is superb. The guy who's directing it has done storyboards and key animations for some episodes of ReZero.
mm-hmm.
And he's also done some Darling in the Franxx episode directing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this though.
It is a thin line, that line.
As long as the show isn't like all pervy, or that doesn't like carry over into like the later episodes, that it'll just be kind of like a footnote, like, man, that shit was weird.
Yeah.
But at least it was like character defining in that respect. But like, for me, the reason like a show like ReZero appeals to me is because it starts off as one thing and then it becomes another, and like that kind of early on like quirkiness kind of like dissipates, like goes away, and then it's more like Subaru does have
he started off like as like, oh, like Amelia's hot, I want to help her because she's the hot princess, but then it evolves to like, oh, she's more than that, like she's like a strong person.
The
like,
characters
like,
grow in like interesting and believable ways, and that's why I dig it so much. Which, by the way, can we talk about ReZero if we got time?
Yes. Let me see. Is there? Oh, and I will say this for the like last thing I'll say, like that scene I was telling you about, it does end with him saying like, "What the fuck am I even doing? Why am I doing this?" It was like, I thought I've grown out of this, and then like the next episode is like earth-shattering news happens and stuff, and I will say the show is showing me that this character is evolving each episode. Because he understands the gravity that he's been he understands that he's been giving another chance, and he's like trying not to fuck it up, but he also is like falling into kind of the same pit holes that he fell in before, but also like not. It's an evolving show. I really do. I am so excited to see where it goes. Like I was totally hooked from it from like the third episode. I couldn't stop watching. There's only 9 episodes out right now. So yeah, I totally recommend it. It is definitely a show that is going to be worth talking about later down the road. But yes, Jared, ReZero, where the best episode of ReZero aired. My opinion, the best episode of aired yesterday. Earth-shattering.
I think it's my favorite too. I think it is that good.
This is a spoiler warning for ReZero.
Yeah, spoiler warning. If you haven't watched it yet, watch ReZero.
Episode 23. Love Me Down to My Blood and Guts. One of the best episodes. ReZero has such good titles for each episode. They're so good. This one's great. Love Me Down to My Blood and Guts. Perfect title for the episode. I guess the reason I liked it so much is because the fight, it was like the best, like it had 2 of the best fights in ReZero in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
And the fights were compelling. The fight between Garfield and Elsa, the bowel huntress, whatever, the bowel witch.
From the first like major arc of the show. Come back to wreak havoc. I really enjoyed that. I think there was so much build up to this fight that when it finally happened, I was like, finally.
Like, it was like, Garfield, like, they went back and forth. Turns out she's like a vampire.
Yeah, he guessed right the first time, so he definitely has like some knowledge there that we, the viewer, the audience, didn't have.
Yeah, it was also like a Subaru-less episode. It was like hardly any Subaru. He was in it, but it wasn't like he didn't do much.
He tried to set
he set the thing on fire, but then it didn't work.
On fire, and then Otto did it, and the mansion is burning down. That's where the fight with Garfield and Elsa picks up.
And what I didn't know is I was reading this review on it was my Anime News Network or Anime News Network, and do you remember those vases of oil? Like that's what Otto traded to Roswell. To that was the trade so Otto could help him defeat the giant whale. Like he traded those oil vases to them, and they just had them laying around. Now they use them. Like everything is connected, dude.
I really thought that getting a lot of Elsa's backstory was neat. I really liked that the fight between Garfield and Elsa also was kind of like parallel to what was going on with Ram and Rosewall. In terms of like how the fight, like thematically what the fight was about, and also both fights incorporating fire in a sort of way. Both fights being about love and their various interpretations of what love is. Elsa is like, she has this warped view of love because she's only really known from violence. This, so to her, love is like killing someone and basically world. Taking. Yeah. And then there's the instance with Ram and Rosewall, which is more like really complicated plot line, but
yeah, it goes back so much because he just killed her whole village. She's like a demon, Oni, right? That what she is? And he killed their whole village so he could like have her and Rem, but everybody doesn't remember Rem except Amelia kind of remembers Rem when she goes through her third trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome.
I want her to come back. She's been gone for so long.
I miss her voice.
I do miss her voice. I miss her.
I miss her. The next arc has to be getting Rem back. The next arc has to be like waking up Rem. That has to be the whole goal there. Which is like, who knows?
Who knows?
Because I think we have like 2 more episodes left, maybe 3.
I think it's 2. I think it'll be 2, but
yeah, because Amelia completes her 3rd trial, and there's rumors, and now this is just all that we're just speculating, but you know how Minerva didn't want Amelia to look at her?
Yeah.
There are rumors saying that Minerva is Amelia's mom in some weird way, which is cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
And also that it just ends with like the bunnies are back. The bunnies are back.
Well, we don't know the bunnies are back, but there's definitely snow, which is not a good sign.
I'd say that's the bunnies, bro. That's a sign of the bunny.
Uh-oh.
And then,
I hope not.
Oh my god! And then like the fight with Roswell and
Ram
and Puck. Oh
yeah,
man, I love Puck. I love Puck.
It's crazy how much they fit actual fighting into the fight, because I'm just used to people talking at each other a lot, and there was a lot of talking. But I feel like it's very thematically relevant here.
Yes.
I guess we should also just say at the end of this episode we're left on a big cliffhanger. Ram throws Rosewell's book into the fire.
His book that fucking what's her name gave him, Echidna.
Yeah.
Echidna gave him.
It is supposed to tell the future or something like that.
It's supposed to tell his future.
Right.
And she takes it and throws it into the fire. Then he just like launches a big ass fireball towards her. Who knows if she's dead or not? I don't think she's dead. I don't want to believe that
honestly,
Ram is dead, because if Ram is dead, Subaru has to kill himself.
No, dude. It's so. This is one of those shows where it's like you can never tell what's gonna happen next.
I know,
and I feel like I'm at a point now where it's like they're either dead or they're not. But like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah, I think Puck saves her for sure. Can't forget that little guy.
You've been watching
All-Star, really.
Any anime besides ReZero Jobless Reincarnation?
I finished this anime called Billionaire Detective Balance Unlimited.
Never heard of it.
It's
Is it good? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
thumbs up. It's a very Eric anime. It's a procedural cop drama about a cop who has unlimited money. It's like, imagine if Batman was just like, I'm just gonna become a cop and then just gonna use all my money to solve crimes. And like the whole, like the thing that it like is like the tag of the whole show where is like when the main character goes balance unlimited, and then there's just like you see money moving places, and like he just bought this whole row of houses and then he destroys them or something. And I love cop anime shows. I realize that I love any cop anime show is I'm in, dude. Totally. Detective shit. That's my favorite. That's my favorite subgenre. But that was good, and I'm watching that's airing right now alongside this season of anime has been amazing. It's called Wonder Egg Priority. I told you about it. Very weird, but very cute. It's very cute and sweet. It's about girls going into their dreams, fighting for their friends who committed suicide and trying to bring them back. It's very like trippy, like you're not sure what's happening for like the first 2 episodes, but then the world kind of tells you all the rules in those first 2 episodes, and it's pretty easy to follow. But very good. Animation is great. Recommend it. It's really cute, and it's very heartwarming. And I think that's it. I think that's all I've watched. I think I've been just watching the regular stuff, ReZero, Dr.Stone, One Piece. Let me tell you,
Heating up. It's going big mode.
it's going sicko mode, man. It's I can't. It's right now we're just doing a backstory before the final fight of this arc, and the backstory is like when anime does those backstory arcs and they just hit really well, like you're just like really into them all, like the whole thing, like from start to finish. Man, so good. I love good lore building. I love lore building when a world has good lore. Give me that lore, baby. Daddy needs that lore. But Attack on Titan.
Well,
Attack on Titan.
I need it, so you just give
You're
it
watching
to me.
You're watching Attack on Titan.
I am watching Attack on Titan. I just finished the Battle of Trost, the first big arc. And
feelings heading towards the next couple arcs.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I didn't expect.
What's your number one question that you want to be answered as far as the mysteries that have been setting up so far?
What are Titans?
What are Titans? Okay.
I feel like I already have a pretty good idea in my head, but
what are Titans? That's a good one. That's a good question.
Spoiler alert, everyone, for like the first season of Attack on Titan. I mean, I doubt I think I'm the only person who hasn't seen the first season of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, when it that anime, it's like when it released on Netflix, everybody watched like the first season, so you're fine.
I remember hearing about it when I was in high school. Like a bunch of my friends were like, "This is the best anime ever," and I was always seeing things about it in memes.
You just scoff?
No, I didn't scoff. I was like, "It looks cool." Like I remember seeing the Potato Girl memes like the week of that episode coming out, and I was like, "Wow,
wow!"
I said,
we've come
"Wow."
So far.
And then when I saw Potato Girl watching it for the first time, I'm like, there she is. It's her. It's like, I'm excited to keep going. I think the Titans are just like humans that have transformed somehow for some reason. And it's probably some bullshit reason, like some mad science, or like, the hope in their heart is dead or some shit like that.
I promise you, it's not that.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, like they've lost their way, and
yeah,
it's nothing like that. No.
So I mean, it could be anything at this point, but I've heard a lot of stuff about it being like written by a nationalist, imperialist man, a very racist man.
I don't know about that.
I've heard people say
he's not racist. He's not racist. I promise you that.
I've heard things about Attack on Titan, and I'm on the lookout. I got my eagle eyes.
If any, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. Like when you write a story about a world, I guess is that world an image reflected back upon yourself?
I'd say so. I'd say it's really hard.
I feel like I would say like characters are that.
It's hard to like insulate like everything that you think and believe from like what you create. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because if you create
But
something
also,
that you just is just like completely you don't believe in, then like.
but I guess with him, I forgot what his name is. I should definitely
I think
look
it's
up
like
his name.
Tetsuro something.
I watched a lot of interviews with him. He's pretty one of the rare open mangakas that will do like an interview like once a year, maybe like a couple months. His name is Hajime Isayama, and from what I've seen of him, like in like his interviews and stuff, he's a big fan. Like, I don't know, because like all the Titans that you'll see that are in the show that are not like the regular Titans, their fighting styles are very inspired by mixed martial artists, a lot of UFC fighters, and one of the I think his name is Tony something. He was like a big UFC fighter who's a big Attack on Titan fan. They both interviewed each other. It was a really interesting interview because he was like, oh, you got this Titan from like watching me fight, right? And he's like, yeah, I love your fighting style and stuff. And I was like, I want to incorporate that into this. And I like that stuff. But also the world of Attack on Titan is you haven't seen where the controversy comes from, what people have him thinking about. But I don't know where I fall in that argument where
I was gonna say though, like even if the creator is like a terrible imperialist, racist person, like that doesn't mean his work necessarily has to be. And also, we are talking about the anime, which is like a layer removed from the source material. So it's being worked on people who have no affiliation with the source material, but make their own thing out of it. So it can still have like elements of that original source material, but I would like to consider it its own thing. Like looking at like someone's manga and being like, well, the manga has like all this shit in it that's like, but if it's the anime, I feel like it's a little more removed from that, you know? Because now you got a team of people working on this that everyone has to sign off. And what they think the series is about might differ from what the creator of the actual series intended.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I have been reading the Attack on Titan manga for the final season. It's pretty like word for word the same thing. They haven't really changed anything. They haven't like added anything. I haven't removed anything. Pretty much like very true to the source material. So take that as you will. I don't think I've been watching Attack on Titan for a long time. It's like the racist stuff I can't even comment on because it is a spoiler. It is a spoiler.
Yeah. I mean, I will get to it eventually, and I'll probably
you will get to
be
it.
upset about it eventually. I'll talk about it on the podcast. You can count on that. But I mean, like, I don't know if there'll be like deal breakers for me personally, because there's only one anime that I've been like, I'm not gonna watch that because I'm just like, it's straight up just racist, and I know it's racist.
Which one is that?
Terraformers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on, you look at that, you can't tell me that's not racist, man. Yeah. And if someone's like, I don't see what you're talking about. What do you mean the aliens are supposed to be black people? I'm like, come on.
He's staring you right in the face.
It's like Terraformers is another topic for another time, though.
Trying to think of any anime that is like. Oh, you know what's a good anime that's not racist?
No, what?
Carol and Tuesday.
Carol and Tuesday. I've never heard of it.
It's done by the same guy who did Cowboy Bebop, all that stuff, all Samurai Champloo. I forgot what his name is.
Shintaro Watanabe.
Yeah, it's apparently Carol and Tuesday is a prequel to Cowboy Bebop.
Really?
Yeah, it takes place on Mars, and it's like I would say like probably like 100 years before Cowboy Bebop. Long. It's like a really long prequel before Cowboy Bebop.
It's interesting.
But yeah,
Never
it's
heard
on
of
Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's really good.
I'll look it up.
Anything else? Have you been watching anything else?
Yeah. One more series I wanted to talk about before we move on was I recently rewatched. I don't know if you've watched this. You probably have, but it's a very popular show. One of the first animes I watched, actually, but I never finished it. For a reason I'll get into, that I recently rewatched with Nico. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
No, let me look it up. Melancholy.
You've never seen it?
It doesn't sound familiar.
Oh my god, dude. I gotta tell you. If you haven't, I gotta tell you about this.
Let me see a picture. I have not seen this. It does. The main character does look familiar, though.
Okay. So this show, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is like a slice of life high school comedy, like anime about this guy named Kion and this girl named Haruhi Suzumiya. The hook of the show is that she's really into paranormal, supernatural stuff, and she starts a club in her school to like find that supernatural stuff. And almost immediately, 3 people join the club, and behind Haruhi's back, they reveal to Kion that they are in fact an alien, an Esper, and a time traveler. But they're trying to keep it a secret from Haruhi Suzumiya, because apparently, according to all of them, she is a nearly omnipowerful being that has the ability to overwrite reality.
What?
And that's like the first 6 episodes. The show goes places, but I wouldn't say, like, even though that premise sounds really appealing, I wouldn't say it goes far enough to be like that interesting. Like, there's interesting parts of it, but the thing is, and I didn't find this out until later, and I think it's a big reason why I stopped watching it when I was younger, was because it was so fucking confusing.
Really?
Because I was watching this shit on, like, I didn't have, Funimation wasn't streaming shit back then. I think I was watching it while the first season had like aired.
Wow.
Or, well, during it was airing. It was like 2006, so I was like 9 or 10 years old. The director of this anime, for whatever reason, decided to release all of the episodes in the wrong order. On purpose. What? So the thing is, it starts off and it's like sequential, like it's like episode 1, episode 2, and then the next episode it takes place like in the middle of the actual story, and then it's like episode 3 takes place after that, and then it's an episode like that takes place way later, and then the next episode is chronologically takes place at like the end of the show. And then the next episode takes place before the end of the show. And then the next episode takes place like right after the thing that just happened. All this like weird like chronological bullshit going on. And they allude to it as like a thing that's happening, right? Like they allude to
what's
events
happening
that have already occurred or that haven't occurred to like anchor like where each episode is at what point in time. But it's so subtle, and like you have to really be paying attention to like everything that's going on to be like, oh, these episodes are out of order. Because
is there a way is there like a list of like the episodes in sequential order? Like, oh, you watch episode 1, then 3, then 4, then 7, and then 8, then 9. Oh,
yeah, there is. They re-released it so that every episode's in chronological order.
Does that take away from the show?
The chronological order thing?
Yeah, watching it like the way it was intended. Okay.
It literally, it actually, I think the way they released it originally, where everything's out of order, adds nothing to the show at all. Like, there's some shows where, like, I understand why they would do that, but there's no purpose. There's no purpose. The first episode is literally something that takes place. You only get an answer to it at the end of the second season. And I thought it was an OVA at first, but it really was the first like episode ever released, and it's called Episode 0, and it's like a homemade movie, and it doesn't make any sense until like the very end. But like, you should just watch it in order, because otherwise it just makes no sense.
Sounds interesting. Sounds like a very Jared show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird show. It's hard to get through. There's one arc that's literally just the same exact episode 8 times. Or like almost 8 times. Like every episode they animate it differently, and they have the voice actors re-record their lines, but it's basically the same episode with some minor differences.
How did you watch this?
Sequentially.
No, but like, where did you watch this?
Funimation. We used your Funimation.
Oh, they have it there?
Yeah. It's called, this arc I'm talking about is called The Endless Eight. It's very infamous. Nobody likes it that much.
Nobody likes it.
And honestly, I think that they could have cut out like half of the arc and it would have been the same arc.
Oh,
but yeah, it's like fine. It's like a good-ish show. I have like my gripes with it. I don't like how they treat a lot of the well, no, I don't. I don't like how they treat one character. I don't like how they treat Mikuru, the time traveler, because they just constantly use her as like Haruhi just constantly sexually assaults her and harasses her because I don't know. I think a lot of the characters are unlikable. None of them really get any comeuppance.
Why are you watching this show?
Nico wanted to watch it, and I watched it with him.
Slice of life to me is, I can't do it unless it has like a sports element incorporated. Then I can do it. But like, to me, like, if it's just like slice of life romance, I don't know.
There's like a sports episode.
No. That's not what I'm talking about.
They play baseball.
No.
It's dumb. It's whatever. I mean, I don't really recommend it unless you're like, you want to see what it's all about.
Slice of life, man. I can't. I think that's like the last genre of anime that I'll jump into is slice of life romance.
I mean, yeah. It's just like, I like slice of life with a twist, and Haruhi definitely has a twist, but
yeah,
I don't think it's enough to save it from like genuinely how boring some and like unlikable some parts of it are.
I give you that. Before we move on to the topic of the show, forgot to mention The Promised Neverland, and the show that I would say is wrought with controversy at this point. It's a communication and like the talk around it is extremely toxic.
I bet.
Right now, anime onlys. I think the last episode that just dropped was a very like mid episode. I just watched it. It was okay. It did a lot of like, oh, that's convenient. Very convenient that this is all adding up for you guys. Very convenient, like convenient storytelling. The episode before that though was really good. So it's like a kind of a seesawing thing. Yeah. But manga originals don't like it. And I totally see why, because I feel like a lot of character development has been rushed.
Yeah, I mean,
and I definitely feel that, and it definitely feels like the show is like an unstoppable train heading towards its destination. Like it's like going, it's slowly coming off the rails.
Right. I definitely have to watch it. I think I'm gonna wait until it's done airing, though, so I can watch it all at once.
I definitely wait.
Not wait.
And then before, again, last show, promise, Beastars, second season of Beastars, BA Star. Jared, I'm telling you.
Anime of the year. Anime of the year.
It should have won Anime of the Year last year. Like, this anime, this show is so good. It's like, it has style. The world is cool. It's written by this person who's who just gets the minute details of what happens if an animal society was around. Like, oh, this is a spoiler. I wouldn't say spoilers, very light spoilers, but there's this. Every episode could open up with what happened before, but some of them open with like, oh, these two random characters that have been in the background this whole time. Well, we're going to give them the spotlight for like 10 minutes. And one of them is she's a leopard and the other is a lamb, and they're hanging out. And it's very weird for them to hang out because carnivores and herbivores aren't really supposed to be hanging out. It's very dangerous. But they hang out, they're trying to normal relations, but they're out shopping for clothes, and the lamb pulls out this cute dress, and she's like, oh my God, you would look so cool in this. And she's like, I can't wear that. And she's like, why? It has a pattern. I'm all pattern. I can't wear anything that's another pattern. She's like she's leopard print. She can't wear patterns. So she wears like plain clothing all the time. You're like, what? I didn't even think of that. And like genius stuff like that. Oh man, I know if you watch Beastars, Jared, you would love it. It's so good. It's fucking amazing.
All right.
Possibly becoming like one of my anime of like the generation easily.
Anime of the generation.
Anime of the generation. I mean, this is it.
The Gen Z anime.
I'm not sure how the second season's gonna end, but like, you know how ReZero is on the pedestal? Beastars is like right next to it. Very close.
It's high praise. High praise
very
coming
high
from a man such as yourself.
I know. I'm just saying that I love Beastars.
Refined man with refined tastes.
Now, do the animals in Beastars have sex? Not. Yes. Yeah. That is they do. Yeah. And do you see you see it not once, not twice, maybe 3 or 4 times? Is it disturbing?
Oh boy.
Not so much, but it's done very well. But also, I forgot the mangaka who does write Beastars is a woman. So, it was International Women's Day a couple days ago. It's Women's Month. Shout out to her, killing it in this industry. You got to give him a shout out, Jared.
Shouts out, woman.
Shouts out, woman of animal.
You make me sound like a caveman. I don't sound like that.
Shout
not real. That's woman. Not me. It's not me.
Her name is Paru. Paru Itagaki.
Play the sound clip again. That's not what I sound like. I'm not a fucking caveman.
Oh, Jared. Is this you, Jared? Is this you?
Is this you, Jared? Yeah, I like Haraoki. I love Haraoki Moduki Mabupupu.
No.
Haruhi's like a 7 or 6. 6 or a 7. It's not like the worst anime I've seen by a long shot. I think it's good, but like it could be better.
Topic of the show. I think this is a good topic, by the way. Well, this will be used as clickbait.
Yeah.
This will be used as clickbait. Top 5 anime we want to watch before the year is over. Now, this could be stuff that's old, stuff that's coming up, or stuff that's in the backlog. So, Jared, these are in no order, by the way. No order, so you don't have to rank them if you don't want to.
Well,
Jared,
I put them in order, so...
All right, go for it. Give me your number 5.
Well, actually, no, I didn't. I lied. I did put it in order. Not in order, so...
All right.
I guess first on the list, I'll get the ones that you recommended to me out of the way first.
Let Papa take it in.
The first one's Jujutsu Kaisen. I wanted to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, and a lot of my friends, including Sammy, if you're listening to this, I don't know why you would be listening to this, but thank you for also recommending it to me, because this one has been on my to-watch list for a while, and after Attack on Titan, I think it's the next one
It'll be over by then. I mean, the second season will be over.
Yeah. So will Attack on Titan. You know what I'm saying? Giving me a very scary look right now.
This is my perfect blue creeper face look.
It's I just like it a lot. He looks at you like this.
Do that to me, Jared.
I would, but then I'd have to put my hand down here. You wouldn't be able to see. You're kind of just like, you'd look at me and you'd be like, "What are you doing with your hand?"
Give me your human rights.
Give me your rights. Let me own you.
But yeah, I don't know anything about it. I've been kind of keeping my head low. So, I mean, all I know is that there's a panda in the intro. That's like the extent of my knowledge.
It's a Shonen Jump, and it steals from the best, and it does a good job of it.
Yeah.
My number 5. Let me see this. I'm gonna go Slam Dunk. I'm watching Slam Dunk right now. I didn't want to talk about it, but Slam Dunk, the basketball anime. It's so far, I'm on like the 5th episode. It's pretty good. The animation is great. I love that old 90s look to it, and like the basketball bouncing on the court looks cool. I'm just gonna look up the main reason why I'm watching it is because my favorite mangaka currently, who wrote the original Slam Dunk manga, is the writer for, of course, Vagabond. And that manga is amazing, and the storytelling in that is so good. I just had to see his previous work, and it's Takehoki Inoue. And it's so far it's really good. It like the main character is fucking Kubihara from Yu Yu Hakusho. Kuwabara
Kuwabara's in Slam Dunk.
He's the main character of Slam Dunk.
I can't believe it. Holy shit.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, it's so far really good, and I honestly can't wait for like those Haikyuu fights that you know, Jared. I can't wait to see some of those. So that's my number 5.
I definitely want to watch it too. I was gonna put it on the list, but then I'm like, I know Eric's watching it, so I want to diversify a little bit. Then I also wanted to put Attack on Titan on the list, but like I already know I'm gonna finish that. So
I would have allowed that on the list.
No, it's okay. I mean, I gotta push myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of anime I want to watch. Like my number 4. My number 4. Can you guess what it is? You talked about it in this episode already.
Oh boy, is it Jobless Reincarnation?
No.
Wonder Egg?
What?
Is it Wonder Egg?
No. I was gonna put Jobless Reincarnation on there, but then I swapped it out because I'm like, I'm obviously gonna watch this like soon as well.
Beastars?
No.
Damn it! God
I should
damn
have
it!
put that on there.
That should be number 1.
I'll put it down on the unofficial list.
All right. What is it? I don't know what it is. One Piece?
Dr. Stone.
Oh shit! Dr. Stone is awesome, man. What makes you want to watch Dr. Stone?
Eye Shield 21.
Oh, it's by the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah,
same
it's
character
awesome.
designs and everything. I want to see what he did after Eye Shield
Dr.
21.
Stone blows Eye Shield 21 out the water. I'll tell you that.
And there was a list I saw on Crunchyroll. It's like, what's the next anime you want to watch? It was like a list of things. Like, what kind of anime are you into? And like Dr. Stone was one of them. Yeah. I forget what it was. Let me bring it up real quick. Let me bring it up on my phone so I don't have to exit off of Discord. For whatever reason, my camera gets fucky whenever I focus on anything besides like the window it's being broadcasted on.
It's fucky, mate.
It's fucky, mate. What did it? What they do? What they do though?
I can cut this out, so don't take your time. Take your
When did
time.
they post it? How much do they fucking post? Come on. Here it is. How much? So it starts with the question: how much free time do you have? And if you go down to, I've got some time to kill. It says, what genres do you like? And if you answer supernatural shonen adventures, you get a choice between Jujutsu Kaisen and Fire Force. But if you say you like sci-fi, it says watch Dr.Stone. And that's what solidified it for me. You know?
I can see that. Dr. Stone is great, like, no doubt. It's like a show that I describe as you watch. Like, I was watching it weekly. I've been watching it weekly since it's first aired. But like each week, I was like, why did I like Dr. Stone last week? I forgot, and then I'm watching it. I'm like, yes, I know why I like Dr. Stone. That feeling just keeps building throughout the whole show. It's really good.
It's good.
The new season's awesome. The new season's so good.
It's airing right now?
Yeah, it's airing right now.
It's on the air?
I think it's on the air. It should be done in the next couple weeks. So
is like ReZero though. So
yeah.
Season's almost over. Anime season's almost done.
So the next anime on my list is Cells at Work.
I've heard about Cells at Work.
It's a anime about the inner workings of the human body, a very Osmosis Jones type of anime. I've seen a lot of I've just seen so many people talking about it, and I've seen so many just like scrolling on Crunchyroll. It's always popping up. The new season's coming out now. Like, it's just like currently on my mind. And I've heard from like doctors who, like, you know, you go on YouTube's like doctor reacts to Cells at Work, and he was watching. He was like, oh, yep, you know, the body does kind of work like that. That's pretty accurate. And like, I was like, oh, okay, if it has the respect of a medical official,
It's really
then I'll
anime
give
girls
it
inside my body.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Jared is fueled by the power of a woman. Jared, your face froze on this you made this perfect face and it froze. The camera froze right on it. So yeah, it's Cells at Work. That's why I'm just gonna watch it sometime before the end of the year.
You better. This episode, now that you said it, you're speaking it into existence.
Yeah, it's on the list. I think it's probably after Slam Dunk.
Okay.
What's your number 3?
Run with the Wind.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I want to watch the show pretty bad. Ever since you said it, it's like, it's IQ, but you run. I'm like, oh, you got me.
It is. That's all I can say. It is.
That's really all we need to say about that one.
And the ending is fucking awesome. The ending is so complete, and you don't need anything else after the first, I think, 25 episodes. Like, you don't need anything else. Like, it ends perfectly. Loved it.
But is there going to be a second season?
No! It's over.
Hey, God. You don't have to be yelling at me. What's your number 3?
Number 3. It's this anime called Monster. It's like a 2000s anime. I have no idea what it's about. No idea. But if you look it up, it's called it's not Monstar.
Monstars like in Space Jam?
No.
Come on.
It's just called Monster. And if you look up the anime, like
I think I've heard of this actually.
If you just look at the anime score on any of the My Anime list, like I believe it's in the 9s. It's in the high 8s.
I think I've seen
Elite.
like clips from this, maybe.
And the only way to watch it is on YouTube.
Really?
Somebody just uploaded like the videos on a playlist, and I have it saved, so I have to watch it. But Let me read. I'm reading this synopsis for it. I'll read the first paragraph of the synopsis. Is it? Not long. Dr. Kenzo Tenma, an elite neurosurgeon recently engaged to his hospital's director's daughter, is well on his way to ascending the hospital hierarchy. That is until one night, a seemingly small event changed Dr. Tenma's life forever. While preparing to perform surgery on someone, he gets a call from the hospital director telling him to switch patients and instead perform life-saving brain surgery on a famous performer. His fellow doctor's fiance and the hospital director applaud his accomplishment, but because of the switch, a poor immigrant worker is dead, causing Tenma to have a crisis of conscience.
That sounds sad, actually. That sounds like a real ass movie that someone would make. Nowadays,
so I'm gonna watch it.
Okay. Well,
I've people praise it as like one of their favorites, so I will check it out.
All right.
And it's like 50 episodes. I will check it out. As the master of taste, I must taste.
I must. You
go. What's your next anime? Number 2.
Anohana, the flower we saw that day.
Man, we have been talking about this show forever.
Yeah, and I still haven't watched it, even though it's like 12 episodes. That's how far off. Yeah. That's how bad my backlog is. I can't be like, I'm gonna sit down and like clear out an anime in like a day. I simply cannot. Not happening.
I can watch like 6 in one day, maybe. That's my max.
I could clear an anime in a day, but I would have to sit down and spend the whole day doing it, and that's what I don't want to do.
Yeah. All I know about Anohana is like a group of kids are friends, and then they meet this little girl, and then something happens, and then like there's a time skip. They're older, and the little girl's still the same age, and they're helping her do something. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure either.
That's all I know.
It sounds
it sounds really interesting. It sounds like Erased to me. Has an Erased vibe.
Yeah,
a positive Erased, not a bad, like not in like a Erased was
Erased.
Depressing. Yeah, good Erased.
It's funny too because the flowchart I was talking about earlier led me to Dr.Stone. Actually, led me to there was another one that led to Erased. There's like 6 shows on there, and Erased was one of them. I'm like, that's an interesting choice because I really do like Erased up until the very end.
Yeah.
Like the last 3 episodes. I say this time and time again. I think it is a masterpiece of anime up until the last 3 episodes, I feel like.
You're right. Yep. Because like the first couple episodes are so compelling, so good. You want to figure it out. Like it's. But then when you slowly start to see what's actually happening, you're just like, it becomes predictable and boring.
No, it's not. I think it starts out good and it just gets better. But then like when the main conflict is resolved, like what the guy set out to do is resolved, that's when it takes like a sharp nosedive. Like, yeah, I don't know. I got a lot to say about Erased. I'm gonna have to watch it again, and maybe we could talk about it on a podcast.
You know, we should watch the live adaptation of Erased, which I heard was good.
I have also seen part of the live adaptation of Erased, and I was like, "What is going on?" There's a Mob Psycho live adaptation too.
There's a live action adaptation of JoJo's Part 4, Diamonds Unbreakable.
There is, yeah.
You know what's really good though? That Erased OP.
Yes.
That Erased OP is fucking top tier, my man.
We love Erased. We love it.
My next is it my number 2?
Yeah, number 2. Your number 2.
My number
What is your number two?
It's Kaguya-sama Love is War.
I've heard of that.
Now, again, another anime I have heard people just talking about it nonstop. It's received praise to no end. But I have no idea what it's about. It's a slice of life. It is a slice of life romance anime, but there is like people have talked about it in this such high regard that I have to watch it. I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah.
I should read the first.
I like going into an anime knowing as little as possible. If someone tells me you'd like this, I'd be like, okay, for sure. Or like, even if you don't like X anime, you'll like this one. I'll be like, okay, for sure.
Apparently, there is a scene in this, and I've seen like clips of it, like it's a famous meme, but I want to watch it. What's your number one, Jared?
Well, Eric, this one I put a lot of thought into because I've heard a lot of things about it, and I think it's a fairly long anime. It's like maybe like 60, 70 episodes, maybe. I could be wrong. But it's called Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji.
Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji.
Yeah. I heard a lot about it, a lot of praise, and I really want a good gambling anime after Kakegurui because...
Oh, I've seen this. I've heard good things. I've heard things about it.
Yeah. Kakegurui made, like, whet my appetite for... I've heard that this show does everything that Kakegurui was trying to do, but better. And I just... Season 2 of Kakegurui left me feeling like high and dry, to put it lightly. There was some parts that I liked, but for the most part I was like, where are the stakes? Nothing feels like
that show does have like a distinct style to it, which I like. The main character looks cool. I like his look. His
nose.
Yeah, he has a good nose. Is that what your nose would look like animated?
You have a side profile.
We have like the same nose. We have the same nose.
Yeah, you got that. You got that like, Egyptian style nose.
Do I?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means, but it's very normal looking. It's just a nose.
Yeah, very normal looking. People have complimented me on my nose, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's a nice nose. Like, it looks like it's a big nose, but it's not big at all.
Bro, you have a nice nose.
Thanks, bro.
You got nice eyes. You got nice lips. Just I need you to give it to me.
I need it, and you're gonna give it to me now. Now show me where it spits. My number one show, Jared, will shock you. It will shock the world.
What is it?
People aren't ready.
Are we?
It is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Really?
Is my number one.
You've never seen?
I've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, but I've never watched it from front to back with knowing the continuity, because I would always watch the beginning, then skip episodes, then watch like the training, and then skip episodes, and then I was just watching it on Toonami, so I never really had watched it like sequentially. Yeah. So I've always wanted to do that, and I've started like twice, and I've gotten like to episode 6 and just stopped. Right. But I want to watch the whole thing.
Are you gonna watch the sub or the dub?
Oh, the sub.
Gotta watch the dub, man. The dub fucking rocks. It's so good. It's one of the best dubs I think I've ever heard.
Where would you rank next to Ghost Stories?
Ghost Stories is a tier of its own. I put it on the same level as Gurren Lagann for me. I like Soul Eater.
Really?
I like the Soul Eater dub a lot.
Soul Eater dub is good.
But like
you know what dub is bad? You know what dub is bad?
What?
This is totally off tangent. Complete tangent.
What?
JoJo's Part 4. Part 4, Diamonds Unbreakable, especially the one character, Rohan Kishibe. His English voice acting is horrendous. terrible, absolutely horrible. And it's like he sounds like this. He sounds like he doesn't sound cool. Like Rohan is like
he sounds like a gay rat.
No, he sounds like one of those scheming anime characters, like scheming nerd anime characters.
All right, come on, give him a break.
It's terrible and it's bad, and the direction, whoever directed that did a terrible job telling him how to sound like Rohan. Never listened to the man. I was watching the first episode of the Rohan Kishibe OVA, and I was like, oh, let me put on the dub. I want to see what he sounds like, and I was like,
I still haven't seen the OVA yet, and I know it's on Netflix.
The first episode was really good. I haven't watched it. I just haven't had. I want to make time for those, and I haven't had the time to to watch those.
What's the first episode?
It's about this. Rohan is sitting eating lunch with Koichi because Koichi's about to go to Italy, and he's like, Rohan, can you tell me how to speak Italian? He's like, no. I was like, but what I can do is tell you stories about when I went there. And the first story was like he was like visiting a church, and he wanted to see the confessional. The confessional, and he was like, oh, let me see the confessional, and he starts taking a picture of it, and then he like gets inside of it, and the guy in there starts to gets in there.
No,
good.
I've read that. That's in Under Execution, Under Jailbreak.
Is that the first one?
Yeah. And it's also just one of the best one shots in that collection, which I'd still recommend you read.
I'm reading Vagabond, man, and
dude,
then I'm reading
it is so
Steel
short. You
Ball
can
Run.
finish it in one day or one night even. It's so short. You can just skip on a confessional or at a confessional. You know what happens in it. Just read everything else.
Is it just the Rohan OVA? Is that what it is?
No, it's 2 one shots, and then at a confessional, and then another one shot that is like 3 little short chapters. It's very good, and I have nobody to talk to about it because nobody reads it when I tell them to. But yeah, at a confessional is really good. I really love the way it ends.
Yeah,
it stuck with me, dude. The popcorn challenge or whatever he does.
Oh my god,
so funny.
Fucking great, dude. Animation though on that is really good. David Productions.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you. Please announce part 6. I need it.
Part 6. I need it. Give it to me.
Give it to me now. Come on, don't be stingy, David Productions. Show me where it spits.
Show me.
And so that has been our latest episode of Tonkatsu Boys Super Time Show. Jared, is there anything else you want to tell the people?
Read Under Execution, Under Jailbreak.
Yeah, don't even read it. Don't even read the JoJo's Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4.
You have to at least have read up to Part 4. But after that, you can...
Then you read it.
Yeah. Because you need to know who Rohan is. You need to know his MO and all that.
Well, everybody, we'll see you next time. Remember to watch Jared's streams. He's very close. He needs 10 more followers.
I'm close. Just give it to me.
10 more. Please give it to him. Don't be stingy.
I'll be stingy.
Check out all the other podcasts that we have in the Smooth Brain Network.
Check out All Unsaved Progress Will Be Lost, starring me, Jared, and my other friend, Patrick Reese. Eric does the editing, and we love him very much.
And Patrick's knowledge of video games is extensive and terrifying.
It's true. He's played so many games.
Like every game that is brought up, he is like, "Oh, I've played that. Oh, I've done that.
It doesn't sound like that.
I've done that. Oh, I've played that. I've actually played that. Every Yakuza game. Oh, I've played them.
I feel like that's true.
It should be. All All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Next week's topic, I don't know what it will be. Should we watch something? Should we talk about something else? Something original? Something like this?
Tell us
I
on our
don't know.
socials. Give us anime recommendations and rate our trash taste.
Rate our taste. Goodbye. We love you. Goodbye,
Good night,
Jared.
everyone. I'll miss you.
I'll miss you.